Thank you so much for being here. This is a special edition of Munira's Musings, but for the Rotary Club. I am the niche navigator, and I'm a coach, I'm an influencer, and I am also a Rotarian. You know, the Rotary organization has been alive for almost 100 years, and it started out in here in Chicagoland. And I am very proud to be a somewhat sort of a new member because I've been there almost 19 months, but it's changing lives for the others. And we are as a coach and as an influencer, we always looking to impact other people's lives. But as a Rotarian, we're doing it as a collective term, and everybody from the whole world. It's a global organization that anybody can join. And of course, each chapter is a little bit different, but you are welcome to join. And what you do is you impact positiveness. My guest today here is Nonnie Lyketsos. Hi, Nonnie. Thank you so much for being on my show.
Thanks for having me, Munira.
You're welcome. So, you know, I have so much to say about Rotary, but tell me, you're a Rotarian. I've met you before. Tell me a little bit about yourself, and then also tell us why you joined the Rotary, how long you've been with the organization.
Sure. I joined Rotary when I still lived in Baltimore. And a lot of people start, I know, with someone bringing them to the club or with business connections, but my entrance into Rotary was a little bit different. I, for a very short while, was the manager of a gallery in Baltimore County. And one night there was one of those paint your picture and have a glass of wine, paint and sip nights. And this group came in and they were just having such a good time and really had warm fellowship among them. I said, "Who are you?" And they said, "We are Rotary." And like many people, I said, "What is Rotary?" I'd heard it, but I didn't really know what it was. And it was just that one group of people that was so attracted. I joined them shortly thereafter. And then when I moved to Chicago, it was a great way for me to already be connected to a group of people. And then, like you said, Rotary does such great work and such great service, both locally and around the world, that it's just been really easy to be a part of it.
So most of you may or may not know, I mean, most of the listeners may or may not know the fact that, you know, the Rotarians have been very successful eradicating polio, except for very few minor areas in the world. We are also working with the Well Project. You know, I want to speak at the Aurora branch of Rotary for a breakfast meeting, and the one guy just returned from Uganda, and they were helping the local people to get fresh water. You know, we in America take this very lightly. You know, I'm from Kenya, and I know what the benefits are of having fresh water, but clean water is not a luxury in most of the part of the world. And this is a project that we as Rotarians are doing, right? So
absolutely. It started off with just clean water as one of our major initiatives. And as you know, it's kind of broadened to sanitation in general, because not only when people would go into these countries and find out that the need for water, they also found the need for toiletries, for toilets and things like that. And so Rotary looked at the problem and didn't just try and go do what they felt like doing. They went into the communities and said, what do you really need? Do you need, you know, the water and more than water? And so it grew organically from there. Whereas I feel like some other organizations just go in and do what they want to do. I think Rotary is exceptional at addressing what people really need. And even if it's a hard job, we'll take it on.
So it seems like you joined just because of the fun, but what have you taken on in Rotary that makes you stand out?
I did join for the fun, and I think, as you know, as part of the Women's Task Force, we recently did a survey. And people tend to join Rotary for two reasons. The service, of course, is number one, and business connections is number two. But the reason they stay in Rotary is different. They stay in Rotary because of the service, because it's good, effective service, and then the friendships they've developed. So that's still a very strong part of the reason why I'm in Rotary. The same reasons as it seems like most people are. The service is effective service. We do make a difference locally and globally, and we just have such an enjoyable time doing it. And it's nice to work with people who are competent and effective, and nobody's there for their own ego, which is just really heartwarming.
So recently, Nonnie and I would say I got nominated with the task force. So
Absolutely.
we are asking all of the people, it doesn't matter which chapter you belong to. Once you're a Rotarian, you belong in Rotary. And then your local chapter is just who you meet with all the time. But you are welcome. Like I'm going to different Rotary clubs within the Chicagoland area to meet people. And I have met business owners, people in bank, people who help with resume writers, people who are just electricians, people who are in the army. I met an officer and he was like, "Oh, you speak?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm here to speak." And so there's all kinds of people. It doesn't matter what size, what color, what shapes, what profession, you can be a Rotarian, and that's what I like about it, because everybody welcomes you with open arms.
It's true, and it seems to attract the type of person who gets things done. So I find there's a lot of competence in Rotary. People who know what their skills are, and they know how to apply them, and they know how they want to help and serve. And it's very effective.
So what would you tell people who are looking to do some kind of community work but don't know, what to do, and should they come join us? I mean, I know that for a fact that I had to test the waters too to see if I wanted to join. I was on the fence a little bit because, I just do one club, but I like the camaraderie there. So what would you advise the people who are looking for something?
Absolutely.
Like
it's a great question, because you're right. Every club is different. So if you go on our website, and you can Google things generally, just Rotary and your area and your neighborhood. If you're in the Chicago area, we're District 6450. And there's a list of all the Rotary clubs, when they meet and what the requirements are. Some clubs are more formal. They'll meet at lunchtime. It's required that you buy a lunch. They'll have higher dues. My club is more casual. We meet on Wednesday nights in a bar, and there are no food or drink requirements. And so you find what fits your schedule, what fits your location, whether it's near your work or where you're home, and then what fits your personal vibe. Who do you get along with? Who do you connect with? And I moved from a very small Rotary Club in Baltimore. There were 14 of us. We met at a country club once a week for dinner, and we just had such a good time. But it was an older demographic, my age and older. And then I moved to Chicago, and I joined a very young, vibrant club who meets in a bar, where I was definitely one of the older people, which is unusual for Rotary. And they're both really great places, but completely different clubs and completely different vibes. So that's another great thing about Rotary, is you can find what works for you. And I was lucky that I did.
So how does one join?
So usually what one does is go see a club that they want to visit. You can just pop in, but usually you might want to contact them first, just in case they're not meeting that week, or so they know to expect you. And then different clubs have different requirements. Some clubs stick with an old-fashioned model where you are sponsored by somebody. Newer clubs like mine, you might not need that, but although we do have other requirements, you need to visit 3 times before you apply and submit an application fee so we know you're serious. And so you find out the details when you connect with their club or on their website. But it's easy and it's welcoming. Just because every club is different, that shouldn't be intimidating. That should actually open you up to know that we come in all shapes and forms, and our clubs do too.
There you go. So folks, if you're looking to do something that will make a difference in somebody's lives, we're not only just international, we're also local. I went to Toronto and met the chapter over there, and I had so much fun with them because they were meeting for a lunch meeting, and I had my car with me so I could, take off and go.
Yeah.
And, I've met people who are Rotarians in India and people in Africa. So it's not only just being, philanthropic, but we also have fun, like you said, right? We're going to go to bowling, and sometimes we just meet together in a gala, and yes, it is formal sometimes, but most of the time it's just casual. And we come up with ideas on how to make things happen, right? How to make a difference.
I have some good friends in a club in Chandigarh, India, and they're very active and vibrant. And whenever it's one of their birthdays, the birthday person arranges a service project, and they turn out for each other. So not only do they do their club service projects, they each do individual ones throughout the year. It's a very active club, and I know many of the clubs in India and Africa specifically are extremely active, and even the younger clubs, the Rotary clubs, and do some great work. So that's a nice thing about being in America, is we connect with them through global grants and other initiatives, so that we can work together to really solve some of these global problems.
And here's the other good thing, because I look forward to this, is someday I'm going to go to all of the clubs in the world and visit each one, because that way I can just track the world that way, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I've hosted, well, that's how I got to be good friends with these people, is I had them at my house. They just bonded so well last year, and unfortunately I haven't been able to go back and visit them yet, but it's definitely on my bucket list.
There you go. So folks, if you are looking to do something special in your life and you just want to check it out, go check out a Rotary Club near you, or contact me and I'll make sure that you get connected with somebody. Because here's the thing, everybody needs somebody, and we are somebody. We are not only one person, we are a whole team of individuals. Everybody is here to make things happen, and we can make things happen for you too. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.